while I largely overlooked the riches of the Syriac and Coptic traditions. My main desire was to introduce and analyze patristic figures whom the Church, both East and West, has recognized as illustrating how to read the Bible well and to apply its riches to a variety of needs, issues, and circumstances. Thus, my focus will be on the 8 great doctors or preeminent teachers of the Church: Athanasius, Gregory of Nazianzus, Basil the Great, and John Chrysostom in the East; Ambrose, Jerome, Augustine, and Gregory the Great in the West. Some of these fathers wrote extensive biblical commentaries, others did not. All, however, possessed minds saturated in the biblical narrative. All interpreted the Scripture within and to a wide variety of circumstances and people. At times, a father such as Jerome will exegete a biblical text in response to a question posed in a letter by a friend, or occasionally by an enemy. In addition, Jerome left behind many significant biblical commentaries. Fathers such as Athanasius and Gregory of Nazianzus interpret the Bible within a wider context of theological controversy. Theological treatises, rather than biblical commentaries, offer the best entrance to their exegesis. As I attempt to explain in my discussion of Athanasius, some of the Black Dwarf's best exegesis occurs as he reacts to a specific theological position he views as a threat to the gospel, that of Arius and his followers. Other significant fathers, such as Gregory the Great and John Chrysostom, were gifted pastors, interpreting the Bible as they preached faithfully to their congregations in Rome, Antioch, and Constantinople. Because their exegesis arises within the context of pastoral issues and concerns, it possesses an especially practical character. Neither Gregory nor Chrysostom will allow their audience to study the Scripture at arm's length. Indeed, all the fathers insist that the study of the Bible is not an esoteric, intellectual exercise practiced by the isolated academic. Instead, the fathers argue that biblical interpretation is an ecclesiastical activity to be practiced in the Church and for the Church, within the context of prayer and worship. It is a communal act rather than a private, individualistic endeavor. The ecclesiastical, communal, and devotional nature of patristic exegesis will come as a surprise to many modern students of the Bible, particularly for those trained in the hermeneutical techniques of the modern academy. The Fathers are united in their insistence that the text of Scripture opens itself to those who approach it reverently and receptively. In short, the Fathers consistently treat the Bible as a holy book, whose riches can be mined adequately only by those prepared to honor and obey the message the Scripture contains. And yet, some will ask, can the insights and interpretive methodology of Christians living hundreds of years in the past remain relevant for the Christian living on the cusp of the second millennium? Can a bridge be built to the world of the Fathers? Obviously, I believe such a construction project to be a genuine possibility. The first step in bringing these two interpretive worlds together, that of the Fathers and of the modern Christian, is to ask how modern Christians tend to read and interpret the Bible. After this preliminary task is completed, the rest of the book will explore the hermeneutical outlook and methodology of the Fathers, an interpretive perspective that will readily supplement, support, and periodically criticize modern hermeneutical approaches. 1. Why read the Fathers? Jerome, Augustine, Basil, Gregory of Nazianzus, John Chrysostom, Gregory of Nyssa, Athanasius, Origen, Theodore of Mopsuestia, Cyril of Alexandria, Clement of Alexandria, Justin Martyr, Irenaeus, Ambrose, Gregory the Great. For some of us, the names are familiar. Perhaps memories of a past Western civilization or church history course come to mind. We have read Augustine's Confessions or sections of The City of God. Yet the passage of time has blurred our memory or dampened our enthusiasm for the personalities and world of the early church. Maybe our recollection of past attempts to understand a church father's writing discourages us. We recall the desire to explore an early Christian text, yet remember the terrible dullness of plowing through translations that obscured more than opened patristic perspectives.